Welcome back to DAP Build. Today I'm continuing progress, obviously, of my 1989 Porsche Turbo Replica. We're going to be tackling the floor plans today, and I have various tools at the ready with a fully charged battery by my side. I probably should invest in a second one because I seem to go through them like water. But anyway, we're going to be looking at removing both the floor pans on either side of the tunnel. I've been thinking about the best way of attacking this, and realistically I think more or less going down the center line first just to split that section, then potentially cutting off the front end and then working on the rear. The rear is a bit more complex because of the actual raised section here, but I don't think it should be too hard. I tend to see most people attacking it from the top side, and this is obviously on the floor like it should be. The reason why I wanted to do it this way though is because of this center tunnel, and I can't really see just how far or wide that seam is where the whole thing more or less gets bolted together. The only thing I'm concerned about, and I don't really think it's a big problem, but I'm just looking at the tunnel itself. It's a spot weld affair, so when they've actually built this, obviously tunnel was first, spot welded that together, and then of course pans were then welded on. I don't know how though, I don't know if they're also spot welded as well, I don't know, but anyway, I thought maybe I could have just drilled out, because I've got to drill out those spot welds anyway to get the skin off for the center tunnel. I'm not doing the entire tunnel, I'm actually cutting across at a section down here. A bit hairy, but that's exactly what the boys at Volkswagen Repairers recommended to do, so that's what I'm going to do. So I guess I'm just going to grab some tools, cross my fingers, and cut some metal. One down, one to go. Yeah, not the cleanest job. Again, this is removing the bulk of it and of course then looking at cleaning it up after. I still have to do the removal of the seam and everything as such, so the remaining metal that's on the chassis still, I'll get to that once I've then attacked those. And of course, it will mean basically flipping it back over. At least there's a bit less weight here now, not that these weigh much, these are really light, hence why they're so flimsy. The new ones that are getting replaced are going to be a slightly thicker steel, so of course rigidity will be a lot higher, and of course that'll work a lot better with supporting the space frame, which is a fair bit of bulk of weight in itself. Not so much like the standard Beetle body where everything's attached or all in one unit, and of course a bit lighter and thinner in the skin compared to that. I'd love to actually know what the total weight of that is compared to a Volkswagen body. I don't think that would weigh as much, but nevertheless it'd be interesting to know, and of course then you've got this weight on top of it also. But yeah, one down, one to go. I'll attack this off camera, there's no point seeing that twice. See how much I hacked that one up, and then we'll go from there. Excellent. That's the two floor pans done, which is great because I've got so much more room here for activities. Now, why did I keep the existing pans? Well, we'll revisit that reason later down the track. That they will come in handy, so I am going to leave them for now, and they're out of the way, they're fine. On to the chassis, and annoyingly I've had the realization that I need to flip the chassis again. And it's because of the remaining metal that I've just removed from the floor pans. That needs to come off. And of course that is top side. And of course this is obviously the bottom side. I was hoping to get stuck into de-skinning this thing. And of course I've done a heap of reading over the net and different variations that people, the techniques that they've used to do this. And the one I'm most happy in doing, I've pretty much got nearly all the tools I need. I've got to pick up a few spare parts otherwise, but I'm fairly confident that I can do this, not really have a great deal of issue, and it's just going to save me a ton of cash. And the more I've thought about it as well, I may even tackle doing the floor pans myself. I've still got to do a bit more reading again and see what I can find there, but I'm fairly confident and about, let's say 50%, so I'm halfway there. It's not really confident, it's not really unconfident, but at the end of the day, I do want to keep the bill down. So doing these floor pans, massive cost saving. A few things I can't do, but I know I said I can't do welding. I'll get to that if I can get to that. Long story short. So let's crack on. I've got to flip this over again. I'm going to see if I can try and do this another way. It's a little bit easier, a little less time consuming. I don't think it's going to be any more safer though. And there we are. Thank you TV and video for bringing superpowers into this world and made doing this so much, this was one of 3 times I've got to do this because I've still got to flip it over once more, so yeah, not looking forward to that one. But anyway, it's done. So on to removing the remaining metal work which adorns the chassis, and looking at it more on this side, there is still a lot to remove. It was still easier doing it the way I did, in my opinion. I could actually see the seam line. I could not see that top side. So there was a very high potential. I could have chopped right into that, and then of course this would have made things worse. So I'm happy what I've done. Annoying I've had to flip it. Funny thing being the amount of extra rust pouring out of the thing as I'm flipping it again. So I guarantee when I flip it once more, it's going to do it again still. I'm looking inside the tunnel here. Oh yeah, that's a nice amount of rust. Excellent. This is going to be fun when I remove the skin. Anyway, so it's the biggest question mark. Do I bother? The trouble is, it is not easy to find a replacement IRS, what do you call it? Beam front, ballpoint, I don't know, whatever it is. It's too early in the morning, as usual. So yeah, it's fix it, hope for the best, curse you previous owner, have to get that sorted as well. Anyway, pressing on. I don't think I'm going to get this done by the end of this week, but just means we roll over, so on with it. No! As usual, the battery drained, and I was so close to the end. Ah, far out. That is disappointing. Anyway, so where am I at? Well, I can see all of the spot welds on this side now. I'm just going to do a bit of a brush off, and then I'm pretty much sorted there. The other side, yeah, still need a couple more do-overs. There was so much filler, seam, sealant, whatever you want to call it, in between that entire channel on this side. This side was clean. It had maybe a couple of tiny small little spots, one at the top, one at the bottom here. That's it. There was nothing at all. And if there was, it's disintegrated long ago. This side, so caked on, and it was just chewing away. And of course, it just took me forever and a day. I've had a shower, I'll need another one now, and that's impossible, but anyway. It's like burnt rubber, it really is. It's just shrapnel all over the floor. So, I was really hoping to at least get that done today, but no. So anyway, that's pretty much it. So, I might see about getting a bit more of this finished tomorrow in the very short space of time I have. Kind of doubt it though. I think it's going to be a continuation next week. A little frustrating. But once I've finished that, then we are going to start tackling the spot welds, and that's also going to be a fun task. So might invest in a very small stool so I can scoot myself around the floor. There's no way I'm going to crouch on my knees and do all that. Be done by the end of the hour. But yeah, progressing. That's really all there is to it. So anyway, as always guys, thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below, etc. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbor that seam sealant is perfectly fine in small quantities when it is just bridging a very small gap. You do not need to lather it up and have a valley in there, because anyway, until next time guys, cheers.